Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the series of Sibling Sunday. As you know, last week, if you watched the last week's episode, I unfortunately took an L to the future deck. And of course, back on brand, we're going to be doing some meta deck showdown. Today it's going to be Cynthia's Garchomp versus Raging Bolt EX. And of course...
Should be an interesting one.
Indeed. And of course, the usual guest star, my only sibling, my sister. Introduce yourself as normal.
Yes, I'm Laura. I'm Joe's older sister, Pokemon professor. Totally going to win this one.
You love...
I think this is going to be a weird matchup. I think Raging Bolt definitely has a bit of an edge on this one, even with the power weights. But we'll see how this one goes.
Indeed. So, as you may remember, I've already covered Raging Bolt on the channel. I find it to be a very fun deck. It's not very brain intensive as well, so if I'm ever tired after work, I tend to bring it to locals, and it does pretty well, because it's Raging Bolt. You just go 70, 70, 70 on stuff, and that's that. So since I've never played...
Raging Bolt is very, very good.
It is very good. So since I've never really played a Cynthia's Garchomp deck, tell us a bit about it.
So yeah, Cynthia's Garchomp, it pretty is like straightforward. You mainly want to get into your Gabites as soon as possible for the Champion's Call ability, which allows you to search your deck for any Cynthia's Pokemon. This allows you to quickly evolve your Roselias into Roserades. And Roserade is a key piece as well, because Roserade has a ability called Cheer On to Glory, which your attacks used by your Cynthia's Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active. Because our Garchomp, although it's a very efficient attacker for 1 energy, Corkscrew Dive doing 100, you're obviously not taking one-shots. So you're kind of just relying on the Garchomp to draw you into stuff before you can potentially use Draconic Buster, which is more of an ideal like one-shot. Draconic, yeah, sorry. Draconic. But obviously, Draconic Buster, you have to discard all of your energy. But obviously, because Corkscrew Dive is a 1 energy attack, it's quite efficient. We also have other strategies. We can move damage around with Munkidori. And we also have a copy of Cynthia's Spiritomb in the list, which, again, it's a very efficient attacker for 1 energy. It does 10 times the amount of damage counters on all of your bench Cynthia's Pokemon. And with Cynthia's Garchomp having a free retreat cost, if you've got a heavily damaged Garchomp in the active, you can potentially pivot into the Spiritomb and swing with a 1-prizer and take easy KOs. We play Crispins.
That covers it pretty much.
Yeah. We
obviously there's still like Crispins and everything, Arvens and all that jazz, but yeah, like I say, the deck list for both our decks will be in the description below. We will also show a visual of my sister's deck list, because obviously I've not long featured mine, at the end of the video as well. So let's get in and let's get cracking.
Yeah.
Obviously I'll turn off the timers as we did last time.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's do this. This is a matchup I've never tested, so I think
again,
Bolt...
from my experience, I think Bolt has the edge, because you can just swing over the Garchomps.
And I can just use Teal Mask as well.
Yes.
I will need 4 energy on a Teal Mask, and you need to have 2 on a Garchomp, but it's definitely doable. So let's see what happens.
I'm going to go second.
You're going to go second, okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I pull it off, I do run TM Evo in this list, so that's always a good thing to
start you
try and get.
A Munkidori.
Okay.
And draw for turn. So that's immediately Fan Call. Let's check the deck first. Yeah, that's in there. Okay, so we'll take you as well. We'll take 2 Hoot Hoots and a Ditto.
I've played enough Raging Bolt to know what's going to happen here.
Grab Latias.
Like you kind of covered in your intro, like it's just I mean, obviously there are certain lines that make you think a little bit more, but in terms of like just having a really efficient deck to just play at your locals, Raging Bolt is a great deck to choose.
Especially when you have this little fella.
Yes.
And we'll go for a Squawk and Seize. Excellent. So we'll attach to Raging Bolt, and we'll pass.
Cool.
My bench is a little bit more cluttered than I'd want it to be, but we can live with it.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't really draw into a supporter. So...
now, one thing to bear in mind, folks, is we don't have a Terror down, so we can't use the Noctowls. But it's okay. We don't need to rush this.
Luminous. And then I'm gonna pass.
Okay, let's have a look. Energy retrieval. That's not particularly helpful. We've kind of bricked off this opening, I'm not gonna lie. So let's go for energy to the fan. Unfortunately, it's just gonna have to be a pass. I overcommitted. Unfortunately, I should have just grabbed the one hoot, but
yeah,
you live and learn. That's what happens when your brain is a bit
I just
off.
top decked an Evo, so I'm gonna Evo. I'm gonna choose my Gibbles.
That's painful.
If live will let me pick my Gibbles.
Live not letting you pick your Gibbles.
It's just that the UI was a bit weird. Yeah, it only let me pick one Gibble.
Wonderful. We love this game, don't we?
It's fine. It should be okay.
Another grass energy. I can't use this. You know what? Let's go out and do some Chad work. Triple stab. I know you can just move it off, but that's not the point. I'll take 2 heads.
Okay, that's alright.
I'll take it. Get that triple stab in for 20.
Yeah.
Like I say, I overcommitted my bench, but we can live with it.
So we're gonna go evolve into Roserade. I'll Champion's Call. Finally get that other Gabite down. Luckily, I've not really drawn into anything at the moment. And then I'm going to Champion's Call with second Gabite.
Is it even worth moving the 2 damage off for Munkidori right now? I don't think it is.
No. Not right now. And then I'm just going to evolve into this Garchomp.
There's the Garchomp.
And that is it. Like you say, I could have Munkidori'd there, but I'm not doing anything else.
God. We're just gonna triple stab again. That's what happens when you overcome triple tails.
Tails. The odds of that happening are very, very
It is very low. I'm gonna turn my fan on. I'm roasting.
Okay. Well, once again we top decked no supporter. So I'm just gonna Champion's Call, get another Gible.
Understandable.
Play the Gible, and then I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I misplayed. You're bricking. Finally, we get something. Earthen Vessel.
Oh, it's a vessel.
We get something we can use. I'm going to attach to Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
And triple stab. Hey, I might as well do something.
Sure.
That's sufficient. It's sufficient.
Non-supporter.
You also need an energy.
That is not a supporter.
You also need energy.
A supporter would get me.
Oh yeah, anyway, but still.
This is really a slow game so far.
Well, to be fair, partially it's my fault, but you know.
I'm just gonna dread a brain now.
Fair enough.
I'll move all the damage onto the Latias.
Understandable.
And that's it. Riveting gameplay, everybody.
Yeah, you're telling me. Ooh, excellent. There's the Crispin. So, fighting to hand. Press to the bolts. Lightning to the bolts.
Yes.
Retreat into the Raging Bolt. And we will Thunderstorm. For 120, take out the Gabite.
Fair enough.
I would take out the monkey, but it's fine.
Come on, supporter. That is not a supporter. However, we do have a return KO here.
Got an energy?
And a retreat. Yes, I top decked an energy.
Okay.
So we'll attach return. I'm gonna go Poffin just to Finn. I'll get another Gible out, why not?
At least you don't have a power weight on it.
No. And then we're gonna corkscrew drive for the knockout because I've got 2 Roserades down. And I draw up to 6.
Okay. Doesn't matter what I promote here, so I'm just going to promote the Latias.
Yeah, you need to get a Terror down, really.
Well, luckily I had just had that. So we'll evolve to the Noctowl, and we'll use the Jewel Seeker. Don't fat finger and press no, Joe. So we'll grab you. And we'll grab... what else do we want? I think we'll just take another Nest Ball, to be brutally honest. Yeah, that's the right move. So we'll do that. So then we'll Area 0. Bench a Raging Bolt. Nest Ball for another Bolt. Then Night Stretcher. Grab a Lightning. Border.
Yeah.
These 2. Nest Ball. Grab the bird. Because the bird is the words. Flip the script. Ooh, that's pretty good. So we'll play the Power Pad. Put back double Sarda.
Understandable.
Lightning to the Raging Bolt. Energy Retrieval. Until that's. Put a grass on there. Draw an energy. Nice. We retreat into the Raging Bolt. And we will Bellowing Thunder. So we need to discard 5. But luckily that's pretty easy to do.
Yep, and this is why I said this matchup is pretty bad.
But hey, it's something we've been wanting to test, to be fair, because I've never tested it, and you know, it's something to just think about. Because this could happen. You could take Garchomp to locals. I could run into Garchomp, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna Night Stretcher for an energy. Oh, then
Taking out that Gabite doesn't help either. Early on with the Baby Bolt.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna counter catcher Squawkabilly.
Why would you do that?
Turn. I don't know. I'm just feeling like I need. I
No,
take
you don't have
knockout here.
knockout. No, you don't. Resistance.
Oh yeah, I forgot about resistance. Well,
you should have counter catcher Fez.
Ignore that.
See, I made a misplay, now you're making the misplay.
Yeah. I forgot that resistance was a thing.
To be fair, most of us do, because it's mostly fighting.
Yeah, so instead what I'll do... I'm gonna... Yeah, because Latias has resistance as well. Okay, I'm gonna boss...
You're bossing as well?
Yes,
Sheesh.
just because I don't want, like, that. So let me boss up the bolt without the energy. Which probably is pointless, but, you know. I'll then go... Rescue board here.
Boss the Fez, folks. We're okay.
And now I'm just going to thin my hand out.
Fair enough.
Just so that I can draw an extra card. Corkscrew die for 160.
Not bossing that Fez is gonna make a difference.
Well, the thing is that if I boss the Fez, it's a 1 retreat cost anyway, and you can just pivot with Latias no matter what I bring up.
You knock it out with weakness. It's fighting weakness.
Oh yeah. I'm so slow today.
Intelligent sister, folks. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Sarda. Lightning. And we'll pop a grass there, because why not? Okay, we needed that. So let's go Night Stretcher. Throw grass. Till that's. Draw the 1. Ooh, that's pretty naughty. Predictable. Fighting energy. Jamming tower. Get rid of you. You. And you. Limit your options. And Bellum Thunder.
Yeah, I'm just like so stupid. So
What's that dealt with?
Yeah, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go to a game 2.
Gonna go to a game 2? Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't set up my other Gible in time. I think Rare Candy was prized as well, so.
Let's see what we get. Okay, I'll take that start. Let's see. Let's see what you start with.
It's gonna have to be that.
Remember, you made me go first, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with a tail dance. Okay, that's pretty good. Ultra Ball, Noctowl, and Lightning. Have a look at that. Prizes. Okay, yeah, you're in there, that's all that matters. Do I actually want to take Fan Rotom here? I don't think I do. I mean, I get value off of the Fan Rotom, but I'd get more value for Squawk, I think. So yeah, let's do that. Squawk, German Tower, Touch Turn, and Squawk. Not bad, not bad. I've definitely had better. And pass.
Okie dokie. So, let's bench this and this. Poffin. Okay, that's in the deck. That's good to know.
I was just sorting out my window then. There's some dudes doing a manual labour outside. I don't know if the mic's picked it up, so just figured I'd play it safe, because obviously it's not my turn.
Oh, actually, I should also check that that's not a prize. It's not. Great. Also, I'll pop in for a couple more Gibles. I'll then Arven. Maybe taking this might be better.
So whilst we're on the subject of Sibling Sunday and all that, what did you think to my thumbnail design?
It's very good. I like
that.
it.
So that's why I asked you. I was like, "Do you mind being a country ball?" Because for those that don't know, this isn't actually my only channel. I actually have 3 channels. I have my PS5 gaming channel, I have this channel, and I have my main War Thunder channel. And thanks to my moderator, Bertie Bert, shout out to Bertie Bert, he's kind of just made it so that I'm now associated with the United Kingdom country ball. And yeah, it's just sort of spiraled from there.
Okay, I'm going to take Ultra Ball and Power Weight, because Jamming Tower's in place, so I can't Evo.
Yeah. I mean, you can get it on the field, you just don't get the health bonus.
So I'm just going to pass. No, but what I was saying was that I didn't have a stadium bump, so I could have turned to Evo'd, but with Jamming Tower down, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's fair. Till dance. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I get my value off of that. So Nest Ball. We'll take. Can I get that swing in this turn? No. I'm going to get it anyway. So then, order. Uno, dos. Draw tres. I could easily bump that stadium, but I'm not going to do that. Because that gives you what you want. And sometimes you have to get the things you want in life. I'm now going to prime one of the Gibles.
Poor little Gible.
And Mirror Leaf Shower. Take my first prize.
Alright.
Obviously, you've not gotten your Gabites down, which I know you do play a couple of. I think it's a couple of candy you play, but you know, I'd rather like take a prize now with Prime Catcher, because Munkidori doesn't matter because I'm just gonna one shot your stuff anyway. So
yeah. Okay, this is very annoying, but I'm gonna have to Ultra Ball away. Power weight. And
yeah, that jamming tower is causing you a problem.
It really is.
This is why most Bolt lists play a copy of jamming tower. It's such a good card.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do the Champions Call chain, as I'm gonna call it.
I hope you have Cynthia's number. You didn't laugh at that, folks. That was a fake laugh. My jokes are top tier, but unfortunately to her they're not.
I get no value of playing that.
To be fair, with that used to add dad's jokes. Oh.
That's it. That's
Fair
pass. The jamming tower has slowed my game down significantly, and I've not been able to find the stadium bump for it.
That sucks. For some. Okay, so we can take a Vessel and a Crispin. Yeah, that's about right. So then we can Earthen Vessel away a Fighting Energy for later. We want to leave at least one of these energies in, so I'll take the Grass. So then we can Teal Dance for 1. Oh, I top decked the bloody Lightning Energy. God damn it. Okay, that's annoying, but it just means we don't get an extra energy down. But it's not that big of a deal. Let's go for the Sada.
Not when you're this far ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that big of a deal, but I can live with it. So then we'll go Basic Lightning here. Retreat. And Thunderburst Storm. And we're actually... Do we want to take out the Roserade? No. Let's take out a Gabite.
Okay.
We'll see it
This isn't looking good for me.
This might be a 2-0 to Bowl, which wouldn't surprise me, judging by this.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, I've just top decked nothing.
You want to play it out?
Yeah, why not? I'll just Champions Call for a Spiritomb. I'll
Ooh, delicious.
evolve into the Garchomp. I will attach Power Weight even though it does nothing right now. I'll counter capture the Noctowl. And I'll play Super Rod.
Get some boys back in.
And that's it.
Okay. That doesn't particularly help us, but I do know there's one energy left in deck.
Yeah.
It pains to use a Crispin to do that.
To get the Noctowl out.
But sometimes things have to be done. And well, I can't knock out your Roserade, so let's go for the Dragon Headbutt and knock out your Munkidori.
That's fair.
We could Thunderburst Storm it, but it sounds cooler to Dragon Headbutt.
I really need a supporter here.
You need something, yeah.
That is not going to do it.
Oh no.
I think that's it. I just top decked the Poffin. In this situation, you can just charge up the Bolt, knock this out, and then I have nothing left.
Not even that. I can just go for the Ogopon with weakness.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a 2-0 to
concession.
Bolt, which I'm not surprised about. Yep.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Obviously,
No.
game 1, misplaying and not getting the Fez, but it wouldn't have made a difference nonetheless. I think just this matchup is just so bad for Garchomp.
Well, at least now I know that for future reference.
Yeah, it's just really bad. But Garchomp isn't like going to see a lot of play at the moment, I don't think. But
No,
it's
I
good
mean,
to
what
know
was the highest
nonetheless.
place list? Like 47th something? I
Top
don't remember.
64.
Yeah,
Yeah, top 64 at NAIC. I don't see it like being used at Worlds basically, but
neither do I. So let's go to your deck list and have a gander at what your list looks like.
okay, so that didn't go so great for me today, but here is my list anyway for Synfuse Garchomp. As I already said, Garchomp is just a really efficient attacker, but it doesn't really one-shot anything in the format right now, unless you have 2 energy on it, obviously. But the ability to draw until you have 6 is really nice. So I do like that about the Garchomp. And the Roserades, as I said, they play a key part in this as well, just being able to boost your damage. The Munkidori to move any damage around. Obviously, in the Raging Bolt matchup, that really doesn't make any difference because Bolt is just going to one-shot you anyway. But no, like, I think this list is fine. My only like bump for stadiums was a Team Rocket's Watchtower, which would have been nice to see in that game. But unfortunately, I didn't draw it into my Watchtowers at all. Nor did I see Unfair Stamp in any of those games. So there are like certain cards that you can play in Synfuse Garchomp that can kind of help you, but I think at the end of the day, the matchup against Raging Bolt is still pretty terrible. And obviously
I'd
in
say
that
it's
game
pretty
too, not
tough.
being able to Evo, yeah, it's you just have to get really like you just basically have to make like pray the Raging Bolt player bricks a little bit, but. No, I think Garchomp does have potential in the future. I just don't think it's the right meta for it right now.
No, I don't.
It is fun. It is fun to play though. I do have it built IRL as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say that it's Garchomp's time right now. But it is a lot of fun to play. So
It's
give it
definitely
a
a deck that, you know, it has future potential in my opinion. So I'm hoping that in the future it's worth playing it because, like I say, well, I've already discussed this in another Discord, but if it was Dragon type, not a fighting type, it'd be so much better.
Yeah, but then you'd have to make it have like the awkward energy costs, which then wouldn't make
it could live with
super
that.
efficient.
It could live with that
Yeah.
because if you think about it,
Guess
it
with
can
the
use
Crispins.
fighting energy and water energy, maybe.
Yeah, guess
You
so.
know, like give it some degree of like, you know, like usability, but obviously they printed it as fighting. It's going to stay as fighting, unfortunately. So you have to live with that, unfortunately. But anyway,
maybe
I
it'll
hope
get
you
better
all.
when rotation happens.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of Sibling Sunday. Obviously, it's not as different as the last episode was, but obviously we will be doing non-meta stuff every so often, so look out for that. But next week should be another meta, shall we say, showdown, and then of course we'll go back to doing a non-meta thing, which I'm sure many of you will enjoy. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Cynthia's Garchomp get bodied if you hate Cynthia from playing Gen 4, I guess. But yeah, it's unfortunately, at least we've now learned that Garchomp suffers into ball, which is good for me because I know there's one guy at Locals who plays Garchomp, so I can at least terrorize him with it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all next time.